Self-reflection is the name of the game, Sagittarius. With the sun being in the sign of Scorpio and your 12th house for most of the month, there's a lot for you to think about. As you get ready for your personal new year and a new revolution around the sun, you may find yourself really thinking about the past and the future. However, what's most important is being present, because this month, Spirit has a lot to say to you. And I mean a lot, I mean a lot. Spirit has some major keys to impart upon you to get you moving and to get you going in the right direction. The only thing is that Spirit is asking that you chill for a bit. You need to rest, you need to recharge, remain open and intuitive so that you and Spirit can commune in a way that you never have before. Are you open, or are you still lacking faith? That's exactly what Spirit wants to know. With that being said, let's get into it. What's up, Sagittarius? I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. As always, my name is Mel and welcome to my channel, Divine Feminine Works. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. This channel is everything tarot, astrology, and spirituality. So if those are the things that interest you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so you'll always be notified when I come out with new content. Happy November. First and foremost, Sagittarius, happy birthday. I hope that this new season, this new revolution around the sun brings you happiness, joy, blessings, abundance, prosperity, great health, wealth, and love. Live it up, turn up, live life to the fullest, and again, happy birthday. All right, so we are embarking upon your season at the end of November, but for the time being, we are still in the midst of Scorpio season. And Scorpio season is all about intensity. November has been intense. October was intense. September was intense. 2020 was just intense. There's been a lot of intense pressure, a lot of chaos, a lot of conflict. I mean, this isn't news. This isn't anything new, so I'm not saying anything that you haven't already heard. I say that to say that a lot can be born of chaos. And part of the theme of Scorpio season is death and rebirth. And a lot of times death is preceded by chaos. Things are all over the place. Things are upside down before they eventually fall and crumble. And within the ashes of this crumbled thing, right, a phoenix is reborn. There's always life after death. Endings usher in new beginnings, and that is the crux of Scorpio season and what we are all currently learning. For you, Sagittarius, this is the season right before your solar return season. And anytime, for everyone, right? Whenever it's the season before your solar return, so if you're a Sagittarius, whenever it's Scorpio season, that season is always marked by solitude and reflection because the sun is in your 12th house. The 12th house is the last house in the zodiac wheel. It's the house where it describes sort of withdrawing, going within, isolating, and really taking a look at yourself. It's a house of self-reflection. A lot of times the 12th house symbolizes jails, prisons, mental institutions, hospitals, places where you are confined. It is within that confinement that you are able to do a lot of reflecting. I mean, if you listen to anyone who's ever been in jail for a long period of time, having been locked up and being by yourself in a cell for almost the entire day gives you a lot of time to think about things. And that's sort of how the 12th house is for you, and that is how Scorpio season is for you. It's all about self-reflection. It's also about resting and recharging, because once Sagittarius season hits, that is your personal new year. And it's sort of like you take Scorpio season in order to, take stock of your life, think about the things that you've done over the past year, strategize and think of the things that you want to achieve within the next year, and sort of rest up and recharge and get ready for a new revolution around the sun. So again, Scorpio season and the majority of November is all about self-reflection for you. What's important to note though, especially when we're talking about 12th house energy, is that it's also the house of self-undoing, meaning that it's the house where you can drive yourself crazy. Particularly if you're isolated, if you're doing a lot of reflection, if you're thinking about a lot of things from the past, particularly mistakes that you've made, emotional wounds that haven't been healed, that can really drive you crazy. So it's very important to approach this self-reflection in a healthy sort of way. Don't beat yourself down about things. Don't punish yourself. Really be kind and patient with yourself. We all make mistakes. We all do things that, made sense at the time, but then maybe later on upon reflection didn't make much sense or wasn't of our highest good. The fact that you're reflecting, the fact that you're actually bringing attention to it in an effort to fix it, in an effort to address it, is good enough. So again, don't beat yourself up. Don't be too hard on yourself, but still do the work, reflect, and strategize and plan for your season that's coming up. And it's really interesting that, Scorpio is your 12th house, because if we're talking about self-reflection, I think the best sign in order to do that would be Scorpio, because Scorpio is like the detective. Scorpio is all about getting to the heart of the matter. It's all about truth. It's all about diving deep under the surface where a lot of people don't want to go, in order to figure out what's what, and in order to make sense of what's going on and what may be running in the background that you're not paying attention to. So again, use the energy of November wisely by really taking a hard look at yourself, again, in order to get ready for your season coming up towards the end of the month. That being the case, this November, there is a lot of emphasis on your 12th house and your first house. So while we're in Scorpio season, like I've been saying up until now, it's all about self-reflection. It's all about isolation, rest, sleeping, and recharging. You've got the sun in your 12th house. We had a full moon in the sign of Scorpio, which is also in your 12th house. We've got Mercury in your 12th house. And by the time Sagittarius season rolls around, Venus is going to be in your 12th house as well. So there's really an emphasis on being alone and really getting your shit together, essentially. Once the sun moves into Sagittarius and your season begins, the sun and your focus are going to shift to first house, which is all about you. It's all about your appearance, your attitude, your outlook on life, expressing yourself, personal goals, all of that stuff. So once you do the reflecting, then you can sort of use that information to move forward, particularly as you start off your personal new year. So let's get into the astrology of the month and see exactly what's going on. So I want you to put a gold star next to November 12th. It's already passed, but the energy is still available to us right now. And on that day, that is when Pluto and Jupiter were conjunct in the sign of Capricorn. They were exactly conjunct. They were at the exact degree. And this is a very powerful and fortuitous aspect this month. If you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know that I've talked about this great conjunction in Capricorn for quite a few months. It's Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto conjunct and smushed together in the sign of Capricorn. All of these energies mixing and mingling together is what is partly to blame for all of the chaos and turbulence that we've been experiencing in society as a whole. We're also experiencing this change and this major energy shift on a personal level, depending on where this conjunction is in our chart. For you, Sagittarius, this is your second house of money and material possessions. So at least since the end of 2017, you've been experiencing a whole bunch of upheaval and major energy shifts when it comes to your money, your finances, things that you value. material possessions. And by things that you value, that could also be your self-esteem, your self-worth, things that you hold in high regard in your life. That area of your life has been going a complete underhaul for several years. Now, this conjunction between Jupiter and Pluto in your second house, what does that mean for you? The theme of that conjunction is hidden treasure. It's finding treasure. It's finding abundance and prosperity in places where you normally wouldn't find it. I want you to view this as like a diamond, right? Diamonds are formed of earth matter. So before a diamond is formed, it is literally just pieces of the earth. It may be coal, it may be other minerals that are just lying around, just chilling, right? Nothing really valuable. You wouldn't even really care about it, right? But add a lot of pressure and some time, and boom, you have a diamond. And a diamond is beautiful. It's valuable. It is a symbol of status and luxury. It's something truly worth having, right? That is the theme of this conjunction. So finding your prosperity and abundance, you're going to find it in the place where you would least likely expect. So for you, Sagittarius, you have probably been experiencing a lot of ups and downs when it comes to money. I feel like at one point, things are looking good and money's coming in. On another hand, things may be drying up, particularly with the pandemic. So money has been slow going and the flow of money has been interrupted or has been kind of stagnant, right? So Jupiter conjunct Pluto. I feel like this is asking you to sort of branch out into different areas, things that are very different from what you're normally used to in order to find your abundance. Now, it's interesting because I gave the example of a diamond in the rough. And when I was doing the research on this conjunction, they were saying that this conjunction is typically it is associated with like mining, oil drilling, like those kind of industries where you're actually digging up, excavation, archaeology. Those are the kinds of industries that really thrive under this conjunction. Now, I don't know about you. I don't know too many people who are miners. I don't know too many people who are oil riggers. So maybe that doesn't apply to you. But however, there are other industries that also thrive under this conjunction as well, and that's stockbroker, that is finance. A lot of those industries also thrive under this conjunction. So you may want to pick up a side hustle. Maybe y'all want to get into Forex. Maybe you guys want to get into day trading or something like that. And it may be something that you had not thought about before. It may be something that you were kind of adverse to before. But now, given this conjunction, maybe you might find a little bit of treasure. You might find a little money there, Also, apart from just the industries that you could be involved in, it's also about things that you value. Now, given the fact that you guys are doing a lot of soul searching during Scorpio season with the sun being in your 12th house, I feel like your value system is also changing as well. It's not just money that is being affected by this conjunction in Capricorn. I feel like it's your self-esteem, your self-worth, the value that you place on certain things, the value that you place on certain people, places, and things may also be changing. And again, with that soul searching, I feel like now you have this new value system that you're sort of going out into the world with. And so now you may find that you're attracted to certain things that you weren't attracted to before. You may find that you're attracted to certain people that you weren't attracted to before. And again, this is all beneficial. Any sort of changes you are experiencing on that front would be beneficial for you in the long run. So that's sort of how that conjunction is going to play out. And again, this all happened on November 12th, which just passed, but the energy is still available to us now. Moving along, on the 13th, we had Mars finally going direct. Mars is in its home sign of Aries, so the energy was extremely potent, extremely powerful, great stuff. But since September, it had been retrograde. So it was sluggish. It was stagnant. It was, frustrating because a lot of that get up and go momentum just wasn't there. But now Mars has finally gone direct. And this means that wherever Mars is placed in your chart, that's where you're going to experience this sort of turbo boost of energy. And for you, Sagittarius, that is in your 5th house of self-expression. So if you are creative, and I know a lot of Sagittarians are musicians, they are in the arts, you guys are very creative. Your creative endeavors can definitely start to pick up momentum now. I know that once Mars was retrograde, a lot of you may have had writer's block. You may have had creativity blocks. You weren't able to really express yourself in the way that you normally would. We had Mars enter Aries all the way back in June. So Mars has been in this area of your life for a good 5 months. And so now that it is finally going direct, I feel like a lot of you guys can get back to creating with vigor. You guys can really make some moves and take action on your creative endeavors. This house also rules romantic partners and children. So any of those areas of your life can also get this turbo boost of energy now that Mars is finally going direct. On the 15th, the other day, we had a new moon in Scorpio, which was happening in your 12th house. Again, that 12th house emphasis for you guys back on the 15th. This new moon was a bit different, I feel, energy-wise, than some of the other new moons we've experienced in the last couple of months. New moons are all about new beginnings. They're all about setting intentions. It's about starting something new. But I feel like this new moon, particularly since it was in the sign of Scorpio, was more so about endings than new beginnings. In order to have that new beginning, something's got to give. Something has to end for you to have that new beginning. Whatever's not serving you needs to get out the way and make room for all of this new stuff and abundance and prosperity and all of the things that you desire in this life. So this new moon probably had you focusing on things that you want to get rid of. And again, being that this is in your 12th house, I feel like there was a lot of self-reflection. There was a lot of mulling over and thinking about things that have gone on in the past. People, places, and things that you've entertained, that you've attached yourself to. I think you guys are in this energy space of really just taking stock of your life and seeing what needs to go and seeing what stays. That was the new moon energy that was on the 15th. I feel like that energy is pretty potent and it's going to last more than just a couple of days. I feel like it's more like the theme for November, particularly with this heavy Scorpio energy. All right, so moving right along. Then on the 21st, we have the sun moving into your sign of Sagittarius. So come the 21st, it's time to turn up. It's your season and it's all about you. There's going to be this focus on self-improvement. Things that you desire, things that you want out of life, improving your appearance, focus on your attitude, your outlook on life, all of that stuff related to you is going to come into focus once the sun goes into Sagittarius on November 21st. And that same day, we have Venus moving into Scorpio, which is, again, your 12th house. That 12th house energy is super potent for you guys this month. Venus is all about fairness, it's about equality, and it's about relationships. It's also about things that we value. Like I said, I feel like your value system is changing with regard to people, places, and things, that now you have a different outlook on what's valuable to you and what's not. And I feel like Venus in Scorpio in your 12th house is really going to have you examining your relationships. It's going to have you examining the things that you attach worth to. You're really just going to be self-reflective again. So that is Venus moving into Scorpio in your 12th house. And then finally, we end the month on a really intense note with a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Gemini. Full moons normally are emotional because they either show us the culmination of work that we've already done, or they bring to light things that have been in the dark, things that have been hidden. I want you to think back to May of this year. We had a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Gemini in May. At that time, there may have been things that started, seeds that you planted that you wanted to see grow and manifest into the things that you want in your life. Perhaps this full moon lunar eclipse is going to show you how far you've come, how much those seeds have grown, what they look like right now in your life. On the other hand, you may experience something being uncovered that has been hidden for a long time. And for you, Sagittarius, this full moon lunar eclipse is happening in your 7th house of relationships. So this means that maybe 6 months ago, you wanted to take your relationship to the next level, or you wanted to get into a relationship, period. Now that this full moon lunar eclipse is here, now you're going to see if that has actually happened, whichever one. Regardless, whatever happens, something or someone might be eclipsed out of your life. because that is the whole nature of eclipses. They either bring in things, you know, when you have a full moon lunar eclipse, when you have a new moon solar eclipse, they eclipse things into your life. When you have a full moon lunar eclipse, it eclipses things out of your life. So that being the case, this full moon may bring to light a relationship issue, conflicts, or it may illuminate some really positive things within relationships. So now, you know, the universe is either going to say, okay, this person can stay, or this person needs to go, or this aspect of your relationship needs to stay, or this aspect of your relationship needs to go. Whatever it is, it's going to be kind of major. You know, eclipse energy is very potent. Ancient civilizations used to fear the eclipses because of the sheer power that they exude. And a lot of people in the spiritual community say that you shouldn't do any moon rituals during an eclipse because the energy is so crazy. That's just to give you an example of, well, give you an explanation of the energy that we're going to be dealing with during this eclipse. Regardless, eclipses are meant to sort of move things around, right? It's meant to put things in our life that need to be there, take things out that don't. So you kind of just have to ride the wave and ride the energy, ride it out and see what happens when the dust settles. And again, that is happening on November 30th, and it's going to close out the month with a bang. All right. So that's been the astrology. If you'd like to know more, if you want to know some more detailed information about what's going on in November, astrologically speaking, I'm going to put the link to the November 2020 horoscopes in the description box. So don't forget to click on those and check those out. You can read for your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign. You can get some of the information on the transits and some of the information on your ruling planet. So definitely check that out so you can be all prepared and knowledgeable for November. All right, so now that we've gotten the astrology out of the way, let's get into the tarot and see what messages Spirit has for you this month. All right, we've got acceptance. And this says, I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. This is speaking so much to this 12th house energy, this time of self-reflection, isolation, resting, and recharging. I feel like a lot of you, remember I said before, don't beat yourself up over things that have transpired in the past. It's very easy to sort of let your thoughts run away with you when you've got 12th house energy. Your thoughts can really be your undoing. But one thing that you need to remember, Spirit wants you to remember that you are acceptable. We all make mistakes. Accept the things. It's okay to accept the things that you cannot change. Actually, you should accept the things that you cannot change. You know, it's giving me that serenity prayer. I don't know it by heart, but it's like you're thanking God for the ability to change the things that you can and to accept the things that you can't change. Like, that's the vibe that I'm getting right now. And I feel like that's the energy that you need to be in during the Scorpio season, because you don't want your thoughts running away with you. All right, we've got the key. I feel like there is a major key that you guys are going to be getting this month. It's like some personal insight, right? And this is the number 33, which reduces to a 6. I feel like there is a personal insight that you're going to get that's going to directly help you with your relationships. Almost like there's something about yourself that you're gonna learn, and it's gonna be like an aha moment where you're gonna be like, oh shit, I didn't realize that about myself. Or maybe I should do things a little differently now that I know this. And that's like the major key to relationships. Remember I said we had a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Gemini back in May. So around that time, you may have wanted to manifest the boo. You may have wanted to take your relationship to the next level. I feel like now this information that you're gaining about yourself, that's going to allow you to do that. That's going to allow you to do that now. All right. This is here and now. This card speaks to being in the present. And again, this speaks to this emphasis on your 12th house that Scorpio season is putting. There is, meditation is all about being present. It's about being still and allowing open communication with Source, with God, with the universe, with whomever, right? Whomever you believe. So it's about although you're thinking about a lot about the past, right? Because 12th house sort of is the culmination of all the other houses. So you're sitting and you're thinking about the year that you have. You're about to embark on your personal new year when Sagittarius season gets here. So you're thinking about what has transpired in the past. At the same time, you're also thinking about the future because, again, your personal new year is about to start. So you're like, what do I want to do this year? What do I want to accomplish? How do I want to look? Maybe I want to lose weight. Maybe I want to get more money. You know, the usual birthday shit, right? But Spirit is like, I need you to really sit in the present because that is where I speak to you. That is where I can directly guide you to give you this major key. So even though you're thinking about the past and the future, you guys need to remain present. Meditation is really going to be your best friend this month, Sagittarius, because that is where you're going to get all the insight that you need as you start your new revolution around the sun. Okay. We've got manipulation. And what number is this? 15. So, which reduces to a 6. There is this level of manipulation that you've either been dealing with or that you've been putting on people when it comes to relationships. Someone in your relationship, it could be you or your partner, has serious control issues. And I think that's going to be related to this major key. Someone, exactly. I'm just hearing this now. Acceptance. I'm learning to accept the things I cannot change. I feel like some of you are overzealous when it comes to changes. Some of you want to have control over everything because you feel like things work out better if you are in control of them. But there are certain things that are very much out of your control. You cannot manipulate people, and you cannot manipulate a lot of situations. And I feel like this is one of the lessons that you're learning right now with this heavy 12th house energy and this self-reflection. You can't manipulate everything, especially when it comes to relationships and people, because people have free will. If you're the one doing the manipulating, and honestly, I have to say, I think it is you. And not from a place, not exactly from a malicious place, like you just want to play everybody and play with people's emotions and shit, like a puppet master. I'm not saying that. Some of you maybe, but others of you, I just feel like if you don't have control, you don't feel right. You feel like things are out of sorts. You don't like feeling that way. So you like to control every single aspect. And perhaps in doing so, you haven't gotten the results that you've wanted. And so now Spirit is like, all right, I need you to sit down for a bit and I really need you to listen. I need you to be present and listen to me because I'm about to give you a major key. You can't manipulate everything. So stop trying. You got to let things flow. You got to let people be, especially if you're in a relationship with them, because they have free will. Just like you have free will, they have free will, and you can't fuck with people's free will. I'm just saying. Well, that's what Spirit is saying. Spirit is like, I'm just saying. All right. Choose a new direction. Like I just said before, there's a certain way that you've been operating, which hasn't been to your advantage. And for some of you, I'm hearing this has to do with your creativity. Remember I said that Mars is in Aries, and Mars just went direct the other day. And this is in your house of self-expression and creativity. I feel like some of you need to try a new method. Some of you need to try something new. Now that Mars is direct, I feel like you're going, like that creativity block has been lifted. And I feel like now you're going to be able to express yourself in different ways and explore different avenues. There's more than one way to skin a cat, is what I'm hearing. All right, and finally, we've got financial discipline. And what number is this? This is a 48, which reduces to a 12, which reduces to a 3. This is directly related to the great conjunction happening in your second house. Your money has been all over the place, and I feel like the lesson that you've needed to learn. So I feel like you've got several major keys here. One is you can't manipulate things. 2 is that you've got to go in a new direction, creatively speaking. And 3 is that you need to have financial discipline. That's what's going on right now. So I feel like these are the major keys that you're learning. These are the major keys that Spirit is going to give to you when you self-reflect and when you really examine your life and really sit down and rest and recharge. All right, let's get into the tarot and see what messages Spirit has for you. Let's get some more messages here. Let me just turn this on. All right. Ooh, we've got the World. You've completed a cycle. Now that you're in your 12th house and you're going into your first house come Sagittarius season, yes, you've completed a cycle. But the World card is also about knowledge gained. It's not just about a cycle ending. It's about the hard work and the lessons you've put into it over time that allows you to elevate and allows you to level up. Again, it's these major keys. It's these major keys. Oops. All right. Let's get some more cards out here for Sagittarius for November 2020. All right. We've got the Goddess of Cups. We'll get into that in a second. Let's just pull some more cards. This is you in your 12th house energy. Resting, recharging, and just with your cup open, ready to receive from Spirit. Doing the self-reflection. It's almost like you guys need to rest and recharge to get those downloads, to get those major keys. All you got to do is sit back and extend your cup so Spirit can fill it. Some of you may also be in a relationship with a water sign, so that's Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. But really, I get that this is Scorpio in your 12th house. Scorpio being a water sign, you getting in touch with your emotions, meditating, all that good stuff. Okay, we've got the Son of Pentacles. We've got the Seven of Wands. We've got the Four of Swords. And let's get one more from this deck. Oops. We've got the High Priestess. All right. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Tower. This directly speaks to that full moon lunar eclipse. There's something that's going to happen. And you see it's these two people falling out of what looks like the White House. I'm not going to get into a political discussion, but you know, this also may remind you of someone who will remain nameless. But yeah, I feel like this full moon lunar eclipse, something's going to be eclipsed out of your life. For some of you, it's a relationship. Someone's relationship is not going to last after this month. All right, Sagittarius. So first, off the bat, I feel like a lot of you are going to be tapping into your intuitive side. That's very much emblematic of Scorpio season. Scorpio being a water sign. Scorpio is very intuitive. They have a lot of psychic ability, and I feel like that's exactly what's going to be happening. I can't stress this enough. This month, you really need to chill and you really need to meditate, because I feel like by being in your intuitive and spiritual bag, that is what's going to help you secure the bag. You feel me? Your work is going to be directly affected by this rest and recharging that you are taking. It's like you're getting these spiritual downloads. You're getting these major keys from Spirit, and Spirit is like, all right, boom, this is what you do about money. This is what you do about relationships. Like Spirit is about to give you all the tea for everything that you need. And don't fight it. Like some of you are just like very resistant to it. You really shouldn't be. Although meditation and really connecting with Spirit may not be something that all of you are really into, I feel like for the sake of your future and for the sake of this personal new year, I think y'all really need to get into it right now. Because a lot of you have this defensive energy, almost like you're sort of resistant to this new go around that is presenting itself to you. A lot of you are just like, I know this year has been rough, and it's taking a lot from all of us to be able to move on comfortably and successfully. And I feel like because of what you've experienced, particularly as it relates to money and material goods, I feel like some of you are like defensive. I feel like some of you are very defensive in your relationships too. especially when it comes to your heart. Like, I feel like rather than meet someone where they're at, like in terms of emotions, I feel like y'all just sort of put up a wall and distance yourself. Yeah, I find that a lot of you are very defensive of your heart. A lot of you are very defensive. Also, some of you are very defensive when it comes to your creations. Like I said, we've got Mars in Aries, which is in your 5th house. 5th house is all about what you love, your passions. A lot of you are very sensitive about your shit when it comes to your creativity, when it comes to your self-expression. You're very defensive about that. But again, I mean, look at this card. Rest. Look at her eyes are closed. She is meditating. She is resting. Look at her as well. Also resting. And while you are resting, it's like your third eye is open. Your third eye is open, and that intuitive nature that Scorpio brings, y'all really need to tap into it this month so that, again, y'all can secure the bag so that you can move forward. You can move forward successfully. It's almost like 12th house energy is like being in a dream. It's like resting, recharging. It's dreaming. It's like being in a dream state. A lot of people say that even when they meditate, they're in this trance, right? It's sort of like you're here on earth, but not really. You need to stay in that space of being in a trance, that space of really, it's almost like between worlds. So that you can get the information that you need so that when you get up out of that trance, once Sagittarius season starts, you can put shit to work. You can use the major keys that Spirit is giving you to open doors to get money, to get ahead, to get moving in this physical plane. That's exactly what you need to do at this time. Yeah, very nice. All right. I want to see what y'all are so defensive about, or why are you so defensive? I mean, I kind of get it, but I want to get a little more into it. Why are you guys so defensive? What's the reason for your defensiveness? Yeah, y'all are defensive in relationships. Some of you really don't want to get it. You really don't want to get close to people. You really don't. There's a certain realness about relationships that you guys don't really want to engage in right now. It's like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to. I'd rather not. It's not, but at the heart of it, that's not really what you want. You want a real relationship. You want something where you are emotionally vulnerable, but you're acting like you don't. Or maybe you just don't at this time. There's something about vulnerability and openness that you're going to be learned. That's also one of the major keys that you're going to learn and be given during Scorpio season that you can use going forward. All right. I want to get one on this High Priestess. Look at this. The 9 of Pentacles. Yo, if you don't get in your spiritual bag this month, you are going to really miss out on those coins. I'm telling you, Spirit has the answers for you. Real talk. Yeah, Spirit has the solution. Spirit has the healing that you need in order to get them coins. If I haven't said it enough already, take your ass home. Isolate yourself. Don't be partying. Don't be all out in the streets. Take the time to yourself to meditate, commune with Spirit, and you won't be disappointed. You will be very pleased with the information and the guidance that Spirit gives you this month. I cannot stress that enough. Like, seriously. Ooh, very nice. Like, that's how I'm feeling right now. It's so like powerful. Spirit has so much to tell you. Also, I'm hearing a lot of you, this is a relationship with Spirit that a lot of you have been shying away from. You're very defensive. Perhaps what I'm hearing is that some of you have lost faith. Faith is a very big thing for you. You guys are ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is all about faith. And I feel like your faith has taken a hit with all of the things that you've experienced in the last year or the last couple of years. You may not have faith in people. You may not have faith in spirit. Some of you, I'm hearing, may have lost faith in God. Hence why you have been trying to manipulate things, because you feel like you've got to do everything on your own. You feel like you had faith and God didn't come through for you, or spirit didn't come through, or people didn't come through. So you're like, fuck it, I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to make this situation turn out like this. I'm going to make this person do this. But what has it really gotten you? It hasn't gotten you much of anything. It's almost like spirit is waiting for you with open arms. And it's like, come home. Didn't I say 12th house energy is all about confinement? Come home. Come home and talk to me. This is spirit talking, all right? Come home, commune with me, because I've got so much to tell you. I know your faith was rocked. I know that you feel like things are not going your way, but trust and believe I've got the major keys. And honey, we are going to secure this bag together. We're going to secure the bag together. 9 of Shields, that's like, this is the card of abundance. This is the card of self-sufficiency. This is the card of bad and bougie. That's what this is. That's what spirit is trying to tell you. That's why you really need to be in this high priestess mode. Get out your singing bowls. Get out your yoga mats. Chill out. Relax. The one thing I'm hearing though is, you know how I was saying before about being in a trance, right? That's sort of how that 12th house energy plays out. Don't try to do that via drugs, via alcohol, anything like that. That's like artificial. You really need to get to the source, pure, unadulterated. Like, it's almost like pure cocaine. I don't mean take cocaine. I mean like that's how connecting with source on a pure level is like. So try not to induce this trance state with drugs or alcohol or anything like that. Sit, relax, recharge, be receptive. Turn on your intuition and commune with spirit. That's your job for November. All right, let's get 3 astrology cards to close out the reading for Sagittarius for November 2020. All right, we've got Libra. All right, Libra is actually your 11th house. And currently that's where Venus is right now. And I feel like spirit wants to draw your attention to your friendships and the value that you place on them. Remember I said that a lot of you have a value system that's changing. I feel like whatever has transpired during Libra season has shown you who to keep around and who not to keep around. And that plays into this whole idea of faith. You feel like your faith has been gone because things haven't worked out the way that you want them to. Spirit just wants you to reevaluate things. Reevaluate the people in your life. Some people need to stay, some people need to go. Either way, you need to focus on your relationships while you're doing this self-reflection. All right, let's get 2 more cards here. We've got Aries. Aries is radical. That is your 5th house of self-expression that I was talking about before, where Mars is currently located. You need to take a radical approach. Remember I said choose a new direction. For some of you that has to do with your creativity. I think y'all need to really deviate from the norm. Like y'all need to be radical. Do something that is so left field, that's so out of the ordinary for you. I feel like that's also going to help usher in and get rid of these creativity blocks that you've been experiencing. Right? And one last card. All right. We've got Pisces. Interesting. So we've got 3 signs here. I feel like these 3 signs, Libra, Aries, Pisces, these could be indicative of different people. Just like I see the Son of Pentacles and this is the Goddess of Cups, I feel like you have 2 people or perhaps 3 people around you that this message directly relates to. They could be business relationships, personal relationships, they could be children, or they could be friends. Pisces is what? Pisces is your 4th house, which covers close family members. So I feel like all of these relationships, particularly once Venus goes into your 12th house of Scorpio, all of these sort of relationships are going to be up for review, and it's going to require you to really examine those relationships, how they fit in your life, and how they align or don't align with this new value system that you guys are developing, right? All right, Sagittarius, that has been your astro forecast and taroscope for the month of November 2020. One parting phrase for you guys is that your faith is going to be restored. Spirit wanted me to give you that last bing, little major key. All right, so I sincerely hope that you guys were able to get at least one important message from this reading. If you would like to book a personal reading with me or order an astrology report, those links are in the description box below. Definitely check those out, and don't forget to click, all right? Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Divine Feminine Works. Every week I do a series called The Week Ahead, where I do a quick and dirty tarot read, as well as a quick and dirty astro forecast on the energies for the upcoming week. That link is in the description box as well, so click on that so you can follow me over on Instagram. As always, everything I do is a labor of love and comes straight from the bottom of my heart. Sagittarius, if you feel so inclined and would like to tip me by buying me a coffee, you know, tips are always appreciated. I'll put that link in the description box below so you can check that out as well. Sagittarius, my loves, again, happy birthday. Get ready for your personal new year. I hope that you really enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.